Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be an analysis of some of the more popular futures markets out there for day traders. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. One quick clarification before I get started, and that is that I will be using the 1 hour time frame, meaning that each one of these candlesticks, as they're called if you're a beginner, represents 1 hour worth of time. So we are starting off looking at the NQ, and as a reminder, if you trade the MNQ, they mirror one another. So what I talk about here, you could apply over on the MNQ, but I don't need, I just stated the obvious, a wild day. From the hourly perspective, not a single green candle. Every candle red since right here at essentially the stock market open here, part of the session, and it's just been straight down since then. Crazy movement here. So much so that I'm going to switch to the 4 hour time frame real quick, meaning each one of these represents 4 hours because we got to go back quite a bit in the chart's history. Now, what is interesting here from the 4 hour standpoint is notice right where the price decided to stop going down for now, right at that pink line. Not a coincidence. That is the famous, very well known 200 period moving average. So going into next session, that let's just call it 650 mark. So 21,650 going to be a very, very interesting level. Can the price stay and hold above it? If it cannot, then no guarantees, but I think there's a good likelihood that the price at minimum drifts down to that next area down there around 21,500. So those are going to be the two key levels that I think will carry a lot of weight next week, and especially the next session. 21,650 and then 21,500. If there is any sort of attempted bounce, in fact, right now I'm just going to get rid of these lines up here as they serve their purpose, and I'll just drag this down. But if there is any sort of attempted bounce, first key battleground to keep a close eye on, right up there at 21,975. If the price can push up through there, then yeah, it starts to make sense to talk about some of the areas up around here as potential resistance. But as right now, in my opinion, no reason to talk about those levels until the price can first off just simply bounce. Let's forget about even breaking areas of resistance. Can the price finally find some sort of sideways movement before bouncing? And if it can bounce, then at least let's see, can the price break above that area right there? But a very, very crazy session here. Straight down. Now we're at a very key level on the 4 hour time frame. So we'll see how things play out into the next session. Next one here, we are looking at the ES, and again, as you would expect, absolutely destroyed. At least this one has a green candle here. Had a couple of green candles, whereas NASDAQ was just straight down with the NQ. But nonetheless, what I need to do here is I'm going to change over to the 4 hour time frame just to give ourselves a better idea. Now, the big difference here, I'm just going to get rid of that level, was think about the NQ. The NQ was actually able to maintain its pink line here, the 200 period moving average. But on the ES, it has failed, which is worrisome because going back through the history of things, you can see this pink line has been a very, very helpful level for the bulls. Multiple times the price has been down around that level, and it has held strong, but not the case in this past session. And then as I zoom back in, basic rule in charting, which states when levels of support are broken, they tend to act as resistance. And wouldn't you know it, price broke down below it, try to come back up, and look right where it got rejected, right at the pink line. So that 200 period moving average is officially going to be that initial area of resistance headed into the next session. So keep a close eye on 60.52. If the price can push up through there, then the other update, and just again, based on the rule, when levels of support are broken and closed below, they tend to act as resistance, and right up there at about 6,100 would be the next level. But as I talked about on the NQ, you don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves because step one is just simply, can this thing even go sideways? So step one, can it go sideways? Step two, can it go up? And then at that point, it becomes, all right, let's see if the price can even break up through that level right there. In terms of next potential areas of support, next main level that stands out to me where the price could very possibly drift down to is right there at the 60.12 mark. And if 60.12 doesn't hold up in the next session, then momentum could carry it down very realistically to right around the 59.85 mark. But yeah, this seller showed up in a big way today. Next one here, taking a look at the YM, the Dow Jones, and yes, like the other ones, the Dow Jones also got hammered today. So that was a key area of support that I mapped out previously, but once the price broke down below it right there, you can see that opened up the floodgates. So I'm going to just go ahead and get rid of that level and make the update, which you've heard when levels of support are broken and closed below they tend to act as resistance. So if this thing does at all attempt to try to level out and turn itself back around, that'll be the main overarching level that'll need to push up through. As far as finding where next potential areas of support are at, that's once again, we're going into the 4-hour time frame. Should make your life a little bit easier, but wow, you can see it has been a long time since the price has been down around this area. So next potential area of support in the next session, is it? No, it's, wow, already broken down through there. So right there at the 43,257 mark, and even if that level is broken, next level after that to keep a close eye on would be right up around the 42,900 mark. So yeah, that does give it some more leeway for it to fall that much more, but I mean, as of right now, a lot of downwards pressure has shown up. So yes, the bears are out in full control, full force here as we head into the weekend and then the next session on Sunday. We are now moving out of the indices and into the oil market, specifically crude. So we're taking a look now at CL. And this will mean more to those of you that have watched past videos, but we've been tracking this trend line here and saying, hey, the bulls are getting on track. Look at this nice uptrend. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then right there, the price broke below it. And then you can see the results of that. Look at that. I mean, it's given up so many gains. So oil, along with these other markets, absolutely demolished today. I'm just going to get rid of all those annotations because it's essentially right back to the drawing board. So let's hop to the day or hourly time frame real quick, and you're seeing that's not doing us a whole lot of good. In fact, is the price even? We just got to go to the 4-hour. Like I said, this is one of these days where it got so nasty that we're having to go to these higher time frames just to figure out where these next potential levels are. But the key level that you got to think everybody and their brother's uncle is going to be watching next week is right down here at the $70.10 mark. Going through things, you can see that was a support. And even right here, I mean, it got very close. So far, so good. It is holding above here. But if the price does break down below that 70.10 mark, as you're seeing, let's just go to the daily time frame real quick. That could very realistically open up the floodgates to then have the price potentially go at minimum down to that next level right around the 68.35 mark. But I mean, look at this daily candle. Again, for you beginners, now when I say daily candle, each one of these candlesticks represents an entire day, or an entire session as far as the futures market is concerned. And it's just really plummeted downwards. But on any sort of attempted bounce back upwards, I think the straightforward way on this one is just to watch that purple line there, 50 period moving average. As the name implies, that line is going to move itself downward. So it's basically going to be a downtrending trend line that draws itself for you. So keep an eye on that with any sort of bounce back upwards. But again, on the 4-hour, look at this. One 4-hour candle after. I mean, one of these is 4 hours. So it has been multiple hours since there's even been a single green candle showing up here. So yeah, oil had a rough day. And then finally moving into the precious metals and specifically gold. And all of a sudden, are your eyes deceiving you? Where is all the bloodshed? Where is the downwards price action? Well, all things considered, gold has held up clearly very, very nicely. Now, it hasn't really made any sort of progress, technically speaking, meaning the price is still down below this resistance zone that I've talked about in past charts or in past videos. So it's still got to get up through there. That's still work that needs to be done with the top part of the zone being right there at 29.73. But that's also sort of a nitpick in the sense of, I mean, to think, well, the worst you can say is that it didn't break this resistance zone. Well, at least it didn't completely collapse. No, that's totally fair, and that's exactly. So in all actuality, gold had a very, very impressive day to day. Again, we are looking at the 4-hour time frame here. The hourly time frame, you can see still illustrating the same thing. Good to see that the price holds above that pink line there. But I think the 4-hour really does the good job of just illustrating that all things considered, sure, it's still down below that resistance level, but these are all-time highs anyways. But gold has held up very, very impressively. And if the momentum carries downwards in the indices, then I think you have a very, very good chance of seeing a pushback up through these highs here on gold. But yeah, a brutal day here for many of the markets, but gold held up quite strong. So that wraps up the analysis here. And again, hopefully you saw the link at the top of the screen. And if you go there, that is for a take profit trader who I would certainly recommend giving a try as a prop firm trader. And if you're either looking to change things up within your prop firm world or maybe just enter into the prop firm world, I would highly recommend Take Profit Trader. Their payout system is awesome. You can request payouts whenever you want, multiple times in the same day, and the money will show up the same day you request it. So, I mean, they really do have a great payout system, and they're open to people pretty much around the world. Now, if you see your country on that list, that's bad news for you. But if you do not see your country on the list, that means you would be able to get signed up. So if you're looking for access into the USA markets, this would be a great choice to potentially consider. And make sure you use that link so that you can take advantage of the current promotion, which is 50% off all of their accounts. So thank you for watching. If you enjoy these analysis videos, as always, hit that like button. And if you're looking to support the channel in a super free and easy way, please hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. Take care and have a great weekend.